the Eid, which is the 10th of the Hajj, which is the festival of sacrifice, in the morning of it, you go to a place named Mina, which is very close to Mash'ar al-Haram, and you throw stones as a symbolism of throwing a stone at Satan, which all this would symbolize that you reject Satan. You throw a stone at a column, at a structure in the location of Mina. Phase number 6, you have to sacrifice in the location of Mina. Phase number 7, you have to shave your head, especially if that is the first time that you are performing your pilgrimage. You have to shave your hair, or you have to cut your nails and take some pieces of your hair from your head and your faces if it is second or the third pilgrimage you are performing in the location of Mina. The phase number 8 would be you circumambulate around Kaaba in the city of Mecca the same day or the day after that. Phase number 8 would be you establish 2 rak'ah, 2 cycle of salat, salat al-tawaf, salat of circumambulation. Phase number 9 would be you run, they call it sa'i. You run between Safa and Marwa 7 times, back and forth. Phase number 11 would be you do tawaf of Nisa, which is a special type of circumambulation. Phase number 11 would be you do 2 rak'at salat of tawaf of Nisa, or circumambulation of Nisa. Nisa basically means women, and 2 rakat salat you do for that. Phase number 13 would be you reside in Mina in the night of 11th and 12th. And phase number 14 would be you throw a stone again in the morning of 11th and 12th at another column which is located in Mina named Jamarat, as a symbolism of rejection of Satan. That's called Hajj Tamattu in totality, Umrah Tamattu. And Hajj Tamattu, which is the responsibility of the people who are not residents of Mecca, beyond certain limitations, beyond the 16 farsakh, would be as such that we stated very briefly. Of course, the topic is very extensive, but we just want to expose ourselves to it. Now, on the other hand, Umrah Mufradah. Now, this is different Umrah. Umrah Mufradah, that every Muslim could perform it at any time during those 12 months of Islamic calendar, is composed of 8 phases. Phase number 1, you do intention. Phase number 2, you put ihram in certain localities. Phase number 2, you do tawaf or circumambulation 7 times around Kaaba. Phase number 4, you do 2 rak'at salat of circumambulation behind the Maqam Ibrahim, or the place of standing of Abraham, peace be upon him. Phase number 5, you do sa'i between Safa and Marwa. You 7 times go back and forth between Safa and Marwa. And phase number 6, you would do taqsir, which is cutting your nail and or a piece of your hair or your beard. And in case of ladies, only cutting the nails. Phase number 7 would be tawaf and nisa, the circumambulation of nisa. And phase number 7 would be 2 rakat salat of tawaf and nisa. Now you could see that the difference between Umrah Tamattu and Umrah Mufradah would be Salat Nisa and tawaf nisa, circumambulation of nisa, and the salat for the circumambulation of nisa. That would be one difference that we observed in here. Now, having said all of this, basically we want to focus on this aspect that Hajj Tamattu means. And the word Tamattu comes from the word Mut'ah, which means to benefit from, to gain pleasure. Hajj Tamattu means that pilgrimage that in certain period of time, within certain period of time, first you put the clothing of ihram, you become muhrim, and you perform your umrah tamattu. And then after you have completed that, you take off the clothing of ihram, you come out of the state of being muhrim, and then you can do the things that was prohibited to you when you were in that state of ihram, or you were muhrim. Now you can do, among which would be getting close to your wife, for instance, or the wife getting close to the husband. Then after that, you can again put the clothing of ihram and become muhrim and intend to perform the Hajj Tamattu and complete it. This was something that briefly we could say about Hajj Tamattu. Now let us go to one of the verses of Quran and see the verse of Quran regarding this. Chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of Quran, ayah 196. Chapter 2, ayah 196 states as such. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأتم الحج والعمرة لله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, bring to completion Hajj and Umrah for the sake of Allah, in order to please Allah. Your intention must be only to seek His good pleasure. وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ. So number one, the spirit of every ritual, which is niyyah, which is intention, and the real meaning of intention is the real reason behind you and I doing something. That's the spirit of niyyah. That real reason that has caused you to do something is your intention. And the intention of any Muslim in performing the rituals must be only Allah and Allah only. وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ حتى يبلغ الهدي محله. Hasr means being surrounded. Mahsur means being surrounded. Quran says if you are in a very extreme state of being mahsur, meaning if some obstacles, like for instance fear of the enemy or sickness, does not allow you, that after you have put the clothing of ihram and you have become muhrim, enter Mecca. This is what it means. In translation it says, but if you are prevented, فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ. Now what is our responsibility in that case? فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ. That which is easy for you to acquire, to obtain of the sacrifice, do that. Sacrifice